Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about why odd lifts, which have often been portrayed now as kind of a cool thing. Hey, it's cool, I'm doing odd lifts and doing something different from other people, of why it is actually just a way to mass strength. And I'm not saying that it's not cool to do something different every now and then. I'm not telling people they shouldn't do things that they enjoy. So I want to be very and extremely clear when I make that statement. Okay, I want to be clear when I make that statement. I am not saying that. But what I am saying is that when you see people who do a lot of goofball displays of strength, there's a lot of nonsense to fake strength on social media and online these days. You have everything from that Anatoly guy who literally is a 500-pound deadlifter coming up and doing stuff to where he does these trick lifts with to show that he's stronger than these supposed weak bodybuilders, and it's set up over and over and over. And then he'll occasionally do a sumo with a really heavy weight with bumper plates, a really whippy bar, and straps, and then he'll pull something crazy. But he's really not that strong. He wouldn't be able to actually deadlift that in any sort of sanctioned competition. So you need to be clear there. He wouldn't even be able to be probably within 100 pounds of that. Right, so understand that the point with standardized lifts. When people are doing these showboat lifts and they don't do any conventional exercises, it's a dead giveaway that they aren't really that strong. Okay, and I'm not saying they might not be strong, I mean by normal person standards, but by actual strength standards, by people who really take strength seriously. Oftentimes these guys who do these odd lifts, it's not that impressive, and you'll see it. Oh, I did this with this whatever Jefferson deadlift with straps or some nonsense, right? Or they'll call something an odd lift. Oh, I did a trap bar deadlift, but it's high handle one with straps. And then people say, but it's a 700 pound. And it's like, how do you know that guy deadlifts more than 500? Like, what do you mean he deadlifts at 7? It's like, that's a partial that you can wedge in. Okay, I want to be clear there. He straps up so grip's not an issue. It's high handle. There was a study that found that just using the trap bar alone, that because of the difference in torque and everything, that on average guys could lift 8% more on the low handle versus a conventional deadlift. Now that doesn't mean that you're getting a better training stimulus. Just they could lift more. 8%. You go to those high handles and you start shaving out 7, 8, 9 inches out of the range of motion, out of the bottom. And then you can just strap up. You guys see what I'm saying? There are cases where guys are getting 100 to 200 pounds more out of that exercise than they can do on a deadlift. And while it might look really impressive to someone who doesn't know what they're looking at, it is just a way to fake strength. It's just a way to fake their strength. And guys will do it. I mean, the same thing. You've seen the same thing. I saw that Sean Baker guy did that. Oh, this was all these reps with 400 pounds on a high handle trap bar. And it's like, how is that impressive? Like, that's not that phenomenal. And I'm not saying it's not pretty good for a guy his age. I mean, yeah. But I mean, realistically, does anyone think I can't do that? Come on. I have no interest in doing it, but I've got a big deadlift. Like, that's just not that big of a deal. It really isn't. So that's the crazy thing, is like when you say that, the weird fanboys of these people, well, why don't you do it? It's because I don't have any reason to do these goofball lifts. You should be telling these people, why don't you do a lift that everyone does so we can see how you really stack up? All right. The burden of proof shouldn't be on people who do contested lifts that have strength standards and that are standardized. It shouldn't be on us to go do their goofball lift to show we can do it. The burden of proof should be on these people doing the goofball lifts to show that they're as strong as other people. Because we have standardized lifts for a reason. And the other thing, it doesn't even always have to be a competition lift. Look, there are lifts that we all do. These people do these goofball lifts because they're rare and they can use them to trick you into thinking they've got some amazing performance. There are plenty of other lifts that don't have to be the competition power lifts or anything else, to be standardized. Example, a weighted pull-up. We all do weighted pull-up, and that's kind of the point with these standardized lifts. They're all lifts that we all do in our training anyways. Like everyone who's serious about lifting and not a contrarian, we all do squat, bench, deadlift, weighted pull-ups, all this stuff. A lot of us incline, all this other stuff, right? So we all know what strength standards are. Okay? We all know when we see a 45-degree incline, when a guy puts 3 plates on there, that's 315, right? On a standard angle, and he reaches over and cranks out 1, 2, 3 reps with it, we all know that's a strong dude. Like there's no doubt about that because we all know how hard an incline is because we do it. We all know that's harder than a flat bench. We all know that. Everybody knows that. So if a guy comes over and does a 315 incline bench, hell yeah, he's strong. He does it for reps, hell yeah, he's strong. A guy's weighted pull-ups. You see a guy, and not a little skinny guy, you got a guy who's 200 plus pounds, and you watch him throw a pair of plates on a belt and crank out 5 or 6 reps on a weighted pull-up. Okay? It doesn't have to be standardized. We all know that's pretty strong. All of us do. There's no question about it because these are movements we all have messed with and trained. And that's the point. They're not odd lifts. They're conventional exercises. A weighted pull-up is a conventional exercise. An incline bench is a conventional exercise. A strict press, it's a conventional exercise. Right? Strict seal row. We know how strong that is. Right? We've all tried it. We've all done it. We've all done a chest-supported row like that with a bar. These odd goofball lifts that where people can move really big weights are done to trick you and for them to try to convince people that they're stronger than they really are when compared to other human beings. And that is the point. They avoid those conventional lifts because they don't want people to know that maybe they're not quite as strong as they pretend to be. They're just showboating. They're faking. Right? It's no different than someone being a fake natty. In fact, it may even be worse. Because if you're strong, you don't mind being compared to other people. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.